Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Today is Tuesday, September 2nd. The moon is in Capricorn. And we do have, towards the end of the day, a lovely trine between the moon in Capricorn and the sun in Virgo. It's a waxing trine, which has the overlay energy of Leo, so it's very creative, it's very self-expressive, and it can help stabilize us. And also, it's an energy where we do get our needs met more easily when the sun and moon are trine each other. That being said, the other story today is Mercury. Mercury actually moves into the sign of Virgo. Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo, and so it's powerfully placed in Virgo. It's very discerning in Virgo. It's very detail-oriented in Virgo. Just facts, ma'am, right? However, just before it moves into Virgo, it makes an inconjunct to Saturn, which, of course, as we know from yesterday's video, fell back into the mystical waters of Pisces, the great cosmic sea, as it were, now doing the backstroke in the great cosmic sea. When Mercury, which would still be in Leo at the time of its inconjunct to Saturn, there's a sense of having maybe missed the mark, forgot some important details, things aren't quite clear, but just a nagging feeling that perhaps you didn't get all the information you needed to get. Then Mercury moves into Virgo, and over the next day makes challenging aspects to all the transpersonal planets. Remember, all those transpersonal planets and Saturn, which is more of a social planet. In the case of Saturn, now at the last degree of a sign, but the other ones are still within the first 2 degrees of their signs. And so what happens is Mercury goes through the gauntlet of a yod. We have an inconjunct to Neptune of Mercury. When Mercury and Neptune are together, especially in these more challenging aspects, there's a lot of confusion. Again, you feel like perhaps things are being held back. You're not getting a clear picture. And then we also have a square to Uranus, which will wake us up. We'll get flashes of intuition. It may not make a lot of sense. There may be people who don't actually come up and not agree with you, but you know you've seen it. I saw it. What do you mean? Like that kind of stuff. It does seed us with some new ideas that will eventually be expressed more easily, but right now it's just like waking up from a bad dream that ends up being a vision of the future or a remembrance from the past. Uranus holds within it our future and our past in this life and our previous lives. So it's almost like a 1,000-piece puzzle that gets dropped on the table. The answers are within the puzzle, but you have to put the puzzle together. And then lastly, tomorrow, and this is actually happening early tomorrow, Mercury makes an inconjunct to Pluto as well, which can bring up issues of power and power struggles. So what I would say, that was all a lot of details, but what I would say is, while Mercury is powerfully placed, there's not going to be a whole lot of clarity. We would like to say, oh, Mercury's in Virgo now, yay, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out, but we ain't going to figure it out today. I also want to point out that as Mercury goes through this gauntlet, it's the same gauntlet that the sun went through when it moved into Virgo. But I want to point out that, and I hate to bring them up because not a word, not a name you want to hear first thing in the morning. But I do want to point out that Golem, aka Nosferatu, aka Stephen Miller, actually has his sun at the first degree of Virgo. He just had a birthday when the sun went into Virgo. And we also had a new moon on his sun, with the new moon being in the first degree of Virgo. So all of this really difficult energy is inundating his chart. And so, yeah, I try to not watch him when he's on, because whenever he opens his mouth, he makes no sense to me. But I did notice that does have a tendency towards hysteria and just babbling like an alternate, like he's almost like mentally ill. He's telling you this story about how things are, and it's absolutely not what's happening. It's how he sees what's happening in his own sort of messed up brain. So we may hear about him today and over the next couple of days. Hopefully we'll hear about how he made it to the mental hospital, where he certainly should be, instead of in a place of power. But we'll see what that's about, right? The thing about astrology is it's observation, correlation. So for us, though, things aren't going to be clear. Don't panic. Just check your facts, go over things again, do what you have to do. There's a lot of creativity. It doesn't mean that we're not going to get things done. It just means that things aren't quite clear yet. Give us time. We'll figure it out, and we're going to take it, and we're going to take it to the bank, so to speak. All right. So take care, everyone. Here we have some lovely flowers. All these yellow flowers are actually, I think they grow wild, and I believe they're, what is that? You have them in the spring. You put them out. Primrose. I think these are wild primrose. And then, of course, all the purple flowers are the petunias that we had planted. But yeah, late summer garden, and there is the beautiful hibiscus that opened yesterday. I'll end on that. Nice little view to end on. All right, guys, it's going to be an interesting week. I'll keep you posted. If you're interested in taking my beginner's class in Kabbalah, that is going to be starting the 11th. That's next week. So you still have time to join the fun. I'll leave a link below so you can go to the website and join if you want. And Mystic Sisters this Saturday will be on Ona's channel. We had a great time this past Saturday. I'm sure we're going to have plenty to do. And also keep your eyes peeled for a Moonshine episode. Ona and I will be doing it this week for the full moon that's happening on the 7th, which is an eclipse. So it's going to be an important one to watch. All right, guys, take care. Much love. Namaste.